Hello and welcome to my podcast. And today's episode, we are going to blow your freaking minds. Today, I'm in with the one and only Lotty Marsh, who 2 years ago came to me for mindset coaching, wanting to give up acting, and is now a professional actor in TV and in film. And we are going to pull back the curtain on the exact things that we had to overcome in order for her to get there. And when you stay around to the end, I'm going to coach Lotty one-on-one in real time so you can see exactly how we shift those limiting beliefs on a subconscious level to get her extremely confident. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
For coming. If you want to just give yourself a little introduction.
Yeah, so I am a professional actor. I've only actually been working professionally now for like 4 months, and it's crazy what I've done. I've done feature films, audio work, commercials. I've been seen for so many different things off of the back of other things, and I honestly truly believe that our mindset work is the reason that I am there now.
And that's in 4 months.
Literally.
Literally.
4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the power of collapse in time.
Literally, yeah.
My question to you is, how would you describe yourself before mindset coaching?
Okay. Shy.
Yeah.
Like, I was shy, and I think that's because I was so worried about what people would think of me, because naturally, like, I can say with confidence, like, I'm a funny person, but I held that back so much. How shy was I? Like, even on our calls, I felt like I was holding back. I didn't think I was good enough. I felt worthless. I didn't feel like I had enough knowledge, and that was something that really held me back in life and professional work as well.
How would you say that showed up in auditions and the boring one as well?
Yeah. Well, that came as a part of being shy. I was then holding back from my actual personality, so then I thought I was really boring. I'd walk into an audition and straight away I'd walk through the door and I'd have this belief that the whole casting team were like, oh God, well, she's boring. She's got nothing about her. And then my lack of knowledge, lack of trust, and lack of not feeling good enough led me to overthink so much in the room that my performance would just literally flatline, because I think they could see everything that was going on. It's so interesting when you're in the room, like, energy's crazy. They can feel exactly how I'm feeling. They knew I was nervous. I was giving off shy, nervous energy. And honestly, flatline is the word I use for my performances. And then they'd be like,
yeah,
thanks, Lotty. Well, thank you.
And
like, you could
knew.
see in their face, they were like,
yeah.
No.
How would you say that impacted then your results with auditions?
I didn't think I was good enough. I knew I wasn't going to get cast in things.
Before you even went into the room?
Yeah,
I'd
get an audition through and I was like, there's no point me going, I'm not going to get it.
Yeah, that's crazy. What would you say is if we go through our breakthroughs that we've had, what would you say is the biggest one that you've had to overcome that's had probably the most significant impact in your success?
Not feeling good enough.
Yeah.
Like, massively, because there's so many things that tie in with not feeling good enough. Like, everything just came into that. And when you don't feel good enough, it puts you in a place of like feeling really worthless.
Yeah.
And that's when everything else comes in, going, well, I'm not good enough because I don't have the knowledge, because I'm not funny enough, because. It's
like the root of everything.
It's the root. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so when we went through that breakthrough, remind when we did that in a session. So we take the belief, I'm not good enough. We go back to childhood.
Yeah.
Can you remember in session where it came from, just so we can let everyone know?
Firstly, the thing I find so crazy about this is I find it pretty quickly.
Yeah, you're very self-aware.
Yeah, but then I can never think, why do I feel not good enough? And then we did that session and I was like, oh my God, I found it. So I was 10 at the time, and I was in a room doing a rehearsal, and I was the youngest by 6 years. So everyone else was like 16 to 18, and I was in this room, and we performed what we'd worked on for like 4 days in front of the parents, and I was like the main role, and we were all getting ready to get into it. I just completely freeze. I completely forget what I'm doing, and there's a couple of people giggling, a couple of the parents looking over thinking, well, they shouldn't have put the youngest one as the main part, like, you name it. Like, it was a bad environment. But then ever since that moment, I took on that belief that I wasn't good enough.
And that ran the
because of
show.
what happened in that random little performance in front of 20 adults and a couple of kids.
Yeah. How would you explain, so to everyone's watching this,
Mm-hmm.
so we've got the belief, I'm not good enough. We go back through subconscious reprogramming, which is how I coach you, back to the event which you took that belief on. How would you describe a breakthrough to the audience who haven't had subconscious reprogramming? How would you describe, or, you know, even the learnings from that event that allows you to change your belief from I'm not good enough to I am good enough?
So for me, it's the learnings that really sit with me. So what I would tell my younger self now
As the adult of
is
today.
exactly what sticks with me, and that's the reason I can move forward from it. Example, me being 10 years old in a room full of 16 to 18-year-olds is insane.
Yeah.
I clearly had that much talent at 10.
Yeah,
that I
but
was,
you couldn't see that at the
but
time.
At the time, I was like, well, I'm clearly just rubbish.
Yeah.
But it's actually like, for a 10-year-old to be picking up essentially adult work
Yeah.
is really, really difficult.
Yeah.
So the fact that I could do that shows how talented I was at the time.
Yeah.
And the fact that I forgot it, I learned it in 4 days and I was 10.
Yeah.
Of course I'm going to forget it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not picking stuff up as quickly as 16 to 18 year old girls.
Yeah. And then how would you describe the feeling when you had that like aha moment of like, actually, you know what, it had nothing to do with me and it actually showed how good enough I actually was.
Yeah.
How would you describe that feeling when you have that realization of going back to that event as the adult of today?
It always feels so powerful and
Yeah.
it makes me feel like my highest self.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I think that, I'm like, oh my God, I'm sat in this place now where I feel really good.
Yeah.
It feels empowering, you know.
Yeah.
I can confidently say, of course that was going to go wrong.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be ashamed of. And also there's a power in the, like, parents laughing at me, really.
Yeah.
That says so much more about you as a fully grown adult, as a parent, laughing at a 10-year-old girl. Come on.
Yeah.
And then there's power within that because I'm sat there.
Not taking it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after that belief shifted from I'm not good enough to I am good enough, how would you say you now show up differently?
Because I have confidence in myself. I know I'm good enough. No one else is me. I always say this. Like now in an audition room, my performance, yes, it's going to be different to the other 10, 20, 30 people they see that day. But that's because I am me.
Yeah.
I'm my own person. I have my own personality. And what I bring is unique to the table.
Yeah.
If they don't like it, that's on them. And it's
Yeah.
nothing to do with me.
And that's what you need as an actor because
Absolutely.
everyone does the same role. You need to be-
Especially with rejection, it happens. You're going to get cut from things all the time. But you knowing that it's not personal,
yeah.
that's when it clicks.
Yeah.
Because your self-esteem could go from 10 to 0
And it
real
does
quick.
with actors.
If you were like, I've been rejected from, because it's how it works. I've been rejected like 10 times in a row before I've got something. That can be really damaging.
Yeah.
10 times you've been rejected, you can think, I must be doing something wrong. No, I'm not doing anything wrong. Could be down to the fact that I'm 5'1" instead of 5'5".
Yeah.
And that might be it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. Talk to me about in fact, let's just go to the belief. You believed that you were boring, didn't you, at one point?
Yeah.
And then you would then go into auditions thinking, I'm too boring for this. And you start overthinking it and predicting that
Yeah.
you wouldn't get the role.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that, how that showed up for you, that belief.
I think boring came in when I was holding back.
Yes.
You know, I always use the word shy because I felt shy, because I felt like I was too scared to say anything in case people wouldn't find it funny, wouldn't laugh, wouldn't find it interesting, would ignore me. There was just this constant fear of what everyone else would think. So then I would literally just sit, like, I wouldn't speak to anyone. And I felt like I took that energy into the room with me. So I would walk in and I'd wait for them to speak to me.
Yeah.
And then I just thought, well, they just think,
I'm boring.
yeah.
Yeah. And then that made you sort of a duller version of yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're not
Even-
inherently boring.
Yeah, even in the stuff I was wearing, like how I would show up physically, I wouldn't want to be seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's fine, wear whatever you want, but I knew it wasn't what.
Me. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't me.
Okay. So when we did that belief, I'm boring as a limiting belief, again, we went back to childhood, see where you took that on because you're not born with that belief. See where you took that on. Describe to me the event because I think a lot of people who are watching this, entrepreneurs especially, will really relate to that drinking event that we remember.
Yes.
The party one?
Yeah. Okay, so I don't drink. It's not something for me. I used to, because I felt a pressure that if I didn't, I would be boring.
Yeah.
And we were like at this house party, 16, whatever, year 11, it's cool.
Yeah.
And someone was like, "You're not drinking?" And I was like, "Oh, no, actually." "Oh, that's dead boring, isn't it?" And you're like, "Yeah, actually, yeah, it is really boring. So what I need to do is do something that I don't want to do so people won't think I'm boring."
To feel fun, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then as the adult of today, obviously seeing that, knowing that, what was the biggest learning from that?
They're boring.
Because they have to drink.
Yeah.
them.
Like, also, why are you putting someone else down for
doing
their
what you-
choice? I've made a decision, respect that as my friend.
Yeah.
It was my friend as well that said that.
Yeah.
So clearly you're not
Yeah.
respecting what I want to do as a friend.
Yeah. And you were in the wrong
Right.
environment as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't call me boring. I'm not boring. If anything, you're boring because you need to drink to have fun and I don't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Power back.
we're at a party and I'm not drinking and I'm having a really good time.
And I'm having fun, yeah,
Yeah.
and they can't do that. Yeah.
But at the time, I thought, not only do you think I'm boring, you're speaking for everyone else in this room that is also drinking.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. My next question to you is the fear of becoming extremely confident. So we've got you to a level where you're so confident,
Yeah.
and then in the past couple of months, I would say
Yeah.
you were like, I want to step it up a notch.
Yeah.
There's a little thing, the little niggle that's not allowing me to be extremely confident, like confident that's like no other, not fake, just true confidence. What was the fear for you of becoming that confident?
I had like a really bad fear that I would become a horrible person and I'd stop being a nice person.
Yeah. And how did that then sabotage you?
I wasn't stepping into that level that I knew I should be at. I was so confident, right? But I remember this moment and I was like, I can do more. Like, I am more than this. And it was pulling me back. So it was like, if you do go that next step, because I know I can do it and I knew I could do it.
Yeah.
And it was like, no, don't do that because you're going to be a bitch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Because in your mind, it was like, I can be really confident and successful, or I can be a nice person, but those two
doesn't
can't
come together.
coexist.
Yeah.
And we actually integrated both of those parts of you, because being a nice person is important, obviously, but then being successful and confident is important, but your mind could not put them together. So you would sabotage to bring yourself down a level, to be relatable to these people around you, to still be nice, still people please, but that meant you were sabotaging your own potential of being extremely confident. Tell me about the time that you walked into, tell me about the agent with your extreme level of confidence.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I'm now with an amazing agency. Like, the things they're getting me in for is insane. And I'd been looking at them for a while, and I knew that I wanted to be part of that agency. I just knew it. And I was looking on their Instagram, like I was envisioning it. I was writing in my journal one evening, and I was like, I am going to be part of this agency. I just know it. And then it was the weirdest thing. I remember sending you a voice note and I was like, I actually can't believe this happened. The next day, she walked into my work. Yeah.
She was drawn to you, wasn't she?
Yeah. And honestly, the night before, I was writing it down. I was looking on their Instagram and I thought, I am going to be part of that one day. Comes into my work. And I think I've got to step into this place that I know I can get to. Approached her, signed with her within the week.
Bang, done. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how would have, if she'd walked in before, how would have old Lottie responded?
I honestly would have seen her, said nothing, and then I might have sent her a DM.
Yeah.
Like later on that evening saying, hi, I saw you in my work today.
Yeah. What did she say to you on the day? What did she say?
She had seen me. She thought I was amazing. She'd seen some of my work.
Boom.
Bang.
Signed.
Yeah.
And that's rare. That's hard to do in the acting world.
It's a hard industry. A lot of the time, you're sending off your tapes. Some of them are already completely full, or unless they see it in person, a lot of the time
that's rare.
Yeah,
that is.
yeah.
But it's the energy that you give off as well, isn't it? With
Yeah.
that confidence.
I think that's what, like, I she was drawn to me as well because I approached her with confidence. And, you know, it's the same thing, like, that's how I'll walk into a room and she'll have seen that.
Yeah.
She'll have seen
Yeah.
how I approached her and thought, if she's approaching me like that, that's how she's going to approach casting directors and directors. And I'm drawn to that energy, and she wanted me to be a part
Yeah,
of.
she wanted you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Unreal. I want to talk about your identity as an actor, because a lot of the things that I see with very successful entrepreneurs, actors, athletes, whoever, is that they make their role and their job such a big part of who they are that when it's finished, they don't know who they are without it.
Yeah.
Or when they don't get something or it doesn't go so well, they feel empty. Or when they've hit that huge milestone, like a bigger film or whatever, they feel this feeling of emptiness. What was your biggest, well, we had a big breakthrough on this. And the question I asked you is, if I was to take your acting away from you, the results, the stage, the movies, everything away from you, put it in a box, who are you without it? What was your initial answer?
I have no idea. I couldn't answer it.
No. Yeah. And that was the exact thing that we had to shift for you in order to have your level of confidence there, whether you get a role or not, whether you are successful or not, whatever, because it didn't change anything about who you are. Just talk to me about that sort of situation.
So I think that actually didn't come in until I started like getting pretty successful, because since I started, I was pretty much back to back, which, by the way, like, as an actor is really hard. I'd done a musical, I'd gone straight into a film, I'd gone straight into a commercial, I'd gone straight into some recording, and then it kind of stopped over Christmas, and I was like, I feel like, I said to you, being an actor is my personality trait and my only personality trait.
Yeah.
But then we worked on that, so I'm now at that level where it's like, if I'm currently not working or not in work, I might be auditioning, I might be taping, I'm still me, I'm still confident. I don't need a film
To prove the value.
yeah, and I don't need it to, obviously it's amazing when I do, it's my dream, it's what I love to do, but I'm still just as confident without it. I don't need it to prove to myself that I should be confident. I remember thinking, this is really weird, that once I got a film, I could walk like around on my own confidently.
Yeah.
How mad is that to think I needed
a film has to validate
a film
me,
to validate, to be able to walk around on my own. Whereas now I'm like, "Ugh, I'm hungry, I'm going for food on my own. I do it all the time now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love my own company as well, and I do it now with confidence. I don't care if I'm not in work at the moment. And I'll confidently say that to people as well. It's such a horrible question as an actor. What's next? Nothing, actually. I'm just working hard.
Oh, love that. That's powerful.
Yeah.
Detached.
It's a horrible question. You know, it's like, I've just done this feature film. What's next? It's like, I've just done a feature film and now I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Leave it there.
Ask me how I am.
Oh, yeah. I love that. So you're now Lottie and you do
Yeah.
acting. Yeah. So another breakthrough we had. What was the belief for that? I'm rubbish. I'll get it wrong.
I'm going to get it wrong.
Yeah. So you had just talk to me about how I'm going to get it wrong played out in your life in auditions.
Okay.
That is a limiting belief first.
So as an actor, you have to be present, but you also have to, it's almost that like freedom to kind of go with the flow.
Yeah.
Like, you do all your work, for me anyway, and then I put it to bed and I just play on my instincts. Like, whatever happens on the day, happens on the day. That's how that character's feeling right now.
Yes, I heard that actually.
Yeah.
That you need to be able to respond to how that character is. Yeah.
So like, if it says on the script like she cries and I'm not crying, that's because my character doesn't feel like crying in that moment, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Like,
or if
the
someone
worst
says
thing is like when you force it and then it's like and it just looks like you're not crying, are you? You just
pretend
look unwell. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I did this audition. I was 8, by the way. I started really young. And it's nerve-wracking when you're so young, and it's a lot to take in. Like, mentally, you're acting. You're putting yourself into a different character, which people don't talk about enough. It's really mentally draining.
Yeah.
There's so much you need to learn, so much you need to think about. Like, my sheet music, the dance called, everything was going on. And I got it wrong. I blanked and I went wrong. And the audition panel started giggling at me.
Yeah. And then as an 8-year-old, when you can't rationalise things, how did you internalise that?
As I've got that wrong and I'm going to continue getting it wrong and people are going to continue to laugh at me.
Okay, so you've taken on that belief, I'll get it wrong. I think it's I'm rubbish as well.
Mm-hmm.
How did that then play out in every subsequent audition for you?
I would sit on the train to London, bearing in mind it's like 2.5 hours on the train, and I would go over and over and over the script, making sure I was getting every single word correct, over. Every little note that I'd written down, if I'd put like a beat change here, thought change, like whatever, I would be like, okay, my thought process needs to change. There's a beat here, something needs to change. And then it just becomes over-rehearsed. Yeah. And then it looks so unnatural and forced that they can see it a mile off. Yeah. And then you become stiff. Yeah. And then a lot of the time...
You get it wrong.
Yeah, you get it wrong. And then they'll ask, they redirect you all the time in an audition just to see like if you can take on direction quickly. And I couldn't do it because I was gripping on so tightly to these words that I was afraid of getting wrong, that I wouldn't take on direction. Surprise, I'd get it wrong again.
And that belief actually, so this is what's interesting about limiting beliefs, is you try to, you overcompensated, you tried to get it right, you tried to get it wrong, but because you believe that you'll get it wrong, you actually sabotage yourself into getting it wrong to support that belief.
Yeah. You think about, I'm going to get it wrong, I'm going to get it wrong, I'm going to get it wrong. You actually do get it wrong. Yeah.
So tell me about it. So when we shifted that belief subconsciously, again, go back to the event, rewire that, take the learnings. Yeah. How did that then change for you? Now you don't have that belief.
Yeah. So in a similar way to what happened when I was 10, I kind of pitched it more onto them. And I was like, that's more of a you problem than it is me. Again, you're an audition panel and you're laughing at an 8-year-old. Yeah. It's not fair. Yeah. And then like now, if I get it wrong, cool, I'm not a robot and I make mistakes, and surely me getting it wrong shows how authentic I am as well. I'm getting it wrong. And now I don't take a script so seriously anymore. Like if I miss out an and or an it, or the words kind of muddle up a bit, that I'm only human and I'm here to get things wrong and make mistakes. And if they can't see that, and they can't see that people make mistakes, I don't want to work with them. I don't want to be in an environment where I feel pressure to get it right all the time. I want to be in an environment that makes me feel comfortable, because then when I'm comfortable, I'm the best actor.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Okay. I love that. I don't think there's any more that I want to go through limiting beliefs wise. Mm-hmm. What would you say your biggest achievement is since doing mindset coaching, both internally, externally?
I'm so less busy in my mind. I always used to say this to you, everything feels busy. I wouldn't really know like how to pinpoint anything other than everything was just like constantly ticking. Anything I'd do, I would overthink. Yeah. Whereas now in professional life, if I get an audition through, I'll do it a couple of times, I'll leave it. I'll emotionally detach myself from the audition because I'm still Lotty and I still have everything else going for me. That role, amazing. If I get it, that's fantastic. But if I don't, I'm still so much more than that role. Yeah. I'll go into an audition room, I'll give it everything I have, because if I didn't give it everything I had, I'll never know.
No, you never know.
If I give 50%, I'll come out of the audition thinking, could have done more. If I give it 100%, I'll come out of the audition and go, well, I've done my best.
And that's all that matters.
And that's all I need to do.
And because your sense of self, your self-worth detached from it, you can go all in. Because it doesn't mean anything about you if you get it wrong or you fail.
And then sometimes opportunities come off the back of going all in 100%. Yeah. You might not get that, but you might get the other 10 things that casting team are currently working on. Yeah. I've been in rooms with like A-list celebrities on set for a massive feature, and it like nerves didn't even really creep in too much. The anxiety was insane. I'd come out in this rash that I used to get. I felt sick. I thought I'm gonna throw up at just the thought of looking at that email. I knew it was wrong. I knew it was wrong and something wasn't right, because when I get my other emails through for my TV and film stuff, there's nerves there and adrenaline. Of course there is, but that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But I was also really excited. I thought, I can't wait to work on this. And I got that through and I was like, there's like, no, I cannot do that. But then I came to you because I started overthinking, thinking, I need to do this to prove I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then
Not
I
'cause I
thought,
want
and then
to.
I thought if I didn't do it, it'd set off my anxiety, thinking you didn't do that because you were scared. So then you're going to be scared for everything else. And I got really fuzzy with it, didn't I?
Yeah.
And then we kind of ironed it out. I got some clarity, and I thought, I'm not doing that because it quite simply just doesn't align with what I want to do.
Yeah. But most people would push through that and just do it because they hang on to every single opportunity.
Yeah, admittedly, there was something there saying, you should do this, but I wasn't going to do it for me.
It was coming from proving.
Yeah, I was going to do it literally to prove that I could do it.
Yeah.
And that didn't really seem worth it to me, because what about if I did take that job on, I started doing it, and then something huge that I actually want to do came through.
Yeah.
I'd be fuming.
Yeah. What mindset did you need? And that we did a massive session on that.
Mm-hmm.
What mindset did you need, or what would you say that you needed in order to actually say no? Because most actors are sort of, I would say, conditioned in the industry to take everything.
Yeah.
But we've built that much confidence now that you don't need everything to prove. You just are really good at X, Y, and Z. You love X, Y, and Z. And when it comes along, it'll come along.
Yeah.
What would you say that allowed you to say no?
I think just reinforcing the confidence and how good I am at what I do.
Yeah.
Because I panicked, didn't I, thinking if I didn't take this on and then I didn't get anything else for a while, it would kind of start reinforcing, I'm not good enough. But then we also discussed, which is so interesting, and this completely changed my whole mindset around acting, like not thinning yourself out. If I grab on to absolutely everything and go, I'll take that, even if I don't want to, or I don't feel it's something that's right for me.
Yeah.
If I take all of that on, I have like 10 different characters and roles and auditions buzzing around in my head. Whereas if I just take the 4 that I really want, I can put 110% into 4 auditions, which is so much better than putting 30% into 10 that I don't really want to do.
Yeah, 100%. I'd say it's a massive act of self-trust as well, isn't it? Trust in yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I turned that down, which then meant I could put...
And people would dream of that opportunity.
Yeah, I know. And that's the thing as well. You think of that and you think, oh God, this is someone's absolute dream and I'm saying no.
Yeah. How powerful is that?
Yeah.
And then tell me what the reason you said no, right? And then tell me about that room that you went into around the table, and actually how much evidence that's given us to trust yourself.
Yeah. So I turned that down, which meant I could then put 1,000% into, firstly, an audition I had, but secondly, a read that I had. So a read through is when the cast are cast in a film and everyone basically just sits around a table and reads the script.
Yeah.
Anyway, sometimes not all the cast can make it. So my agent got a call saying, have you got anyone that can like do X, Y, and Z, and she was like, yeah, Lottie can come in and do it. I had like 9 different parts to read and I was like, oh my God, this is so much. But because I said no to that, I was like, I can really focus on this. I went in the room, started everything, and there was a section where I had to sing. And I was thinking, shall I sing or not? Like, that's a bit awkward around a table, right? With no music, just... And I thought, what's the worst that could happen if they say, yeah, stop? Well, so what? They've told me to stop. They're not kicking me out. They just need... they haven't got enough time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I started singing and I finished and I looked up and everyone was like, oh my God, what? That was amazing. Anyway, I'd got a call a few days later and the casting team were like, we've already cast everything, but we'd love Lottie to have some involvement within this movie.
So that to us is the evidence of going all in with confidence.
Yeah. If I'd have not...
Because if you had that fear before, you wouldn't have sung.
Yeah. I mean, my talent already, was shown through my acting, but the fact that I was like, do you know what, I'm just going to sing. I would not have done that 6 months ago, I'd have gone, I'm just going to skip that bit out.
Yeah, and look
Imagine
at the opportunity
if I'd
of
have
going
known, I
for
wouldn't have got the job.
the opportunities that come from going for it is just next level. Okay. What would be your biggest, how would you describe mindset coaching just for the audience? Because I think to the audience, mindset coaching comes across as like wishy-washy and whatever. But the work that we do is so deep and so impactful, obviously, as all the transformations have seen today. How would you describe the impact that mindset coaching's had on you?
Okay, so for a long time, and I'm not joking, probably since I was little, like 8, 10, I was like, I'm sure I have anxiety. I'm like 1,000% sure I have really bad anxiety. I'd been to like a couple of therapy sessions when I was a little bit older, and I was like, I can't shift whatever this is. And then we did mindset coaching, and I remember I just rambled on to you for like an hour, and I was like, this is bothering, and you were like, okay, let's just break that down. And then I discovered what limiting beliefs were, and I'd never heard of that before. And then I was like, oh, it's like a relief, because you're stuck with this anxiety. Must have been like 10 years, and I was just constantly anxious, and I was like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we started working on those limiting beliefs, everything just started calming down. And my mind is so calm. I'm the most confident I have ever been. I'm so silly. Like, I'll walk into a room and I'll just be silly straight away, because that's me. That's who I am.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm not in the mood to talk, I won't. I don't care what people think. No, I really don't. Like, if I'm not in the mood to talk, I'm not going to talk. If someone asks what's wrong, say absolutely nothing. I'm just having a bit of time. It is life-changing. It really is. I've never felt so good. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for mindset coaching. So convinced for so long I had something wrong with me, which is quite heavy to carry with you, right?
It is. Yeah.
So heavy, and especially when you don't know what to do. Like, I was like eating those rescue remedy things, like they were sweets, and I was like, why is it not working? But it's because I didn't think I was good enough.
No.
You know?
And that's literally why.
Yeah. And then it just went. It went. Yeah. I don't feel any anxiety unless it's, you know, adrenaline when I'm performing.
Yeah, which is great.
But then I can also like rationalise that as well now, because I used to like sometimes get anxiety and be like, why do I feel like this again? But now it's like, well, because I'm on a massive movie set, of course I'm going to be nervous. Yeah. But this is going to help me drive. And help me perform well.
Yeah, you've got amazing self-awareness now. And obviously with all the questions that we've done,
I just feel like Lotty, which I know sounds really cringe, but I just feel...
yourself.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. So I want to do a mini coaching session on you now.
Yeah.
So we can show everyone actually how mindset coaching works, because getting rid of limiting beliefs to a lot of people seems very like, yeah, but what does that mean? How does that work?
Yeah.
So we'll do a bit of coaching. We'll break a limiting belief. So tell me at the moment, just obviously usually we do a full hour session. Obviously not going to do a full hour session now. I can't give everyone the secrets. But tell me at the moment, where would you say across the board you may be feeling a little bit held back, or there's a little voice coming in, or just give me some context of where we're at the moment since last session.
I want to say imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Because now I'm doing a little bit more. I'm becoming a little bit more recognised, not like in the sense I can't walk out of my house and stuff, but like a couple of times things are creeping in. Are you that girl from, are you that, we think you're amazing, by the way, oh, you're so pretty, can we have a pic, you know?
Okay.
And it's like, what? It feels confusing. It's like, why are you stopping me in the street?
Okay. And what's uncomfortable for that imposter part about that? When that imposter part comes in, what's that uncomfortableness?
I think there is a little bit of a fear that I might be judged.
Okay.
Or almost that sense that people are talking about me. So I was at work and someone went, are you in that eBay advert? And I was like, yeah. And then I walked off and I was like, they're chatting shit about it now.
Okay. And if you were to predict what they would be saying about you, what might they be saying about you?
It were rubbish, that.
Yeah.
I can't believe they've cast her on TV. You know, because you do hear it sometimes, don't you? Like, people genuinely do say horrible things.
Yeah. And what thoughts does that imposter part then have?
I always knew you weren't good enough.
Okay. And if they did go away and say, oh, I can't believe that they've cast her on that, what would that make you feel about yourself?
My self-worth and my self-belief would be like there.
And what sort of thoughts would you have about yourself?
I'd be like, oh my God, do I actually come across that way? Do people actually think that about me? Like, this is a non-actor saying that it's not good.
And do I come across in what way? What is that specifically?
It's almost, do you know what it is? It's like, do I come across as like cocky? Because it's like, how has she got the confidence to do that when she's not good at it?
Okay.
That's what it is.
So if you come across cocky but you're not actually good at it, let's just assume that's true. Let's say you're not actually that good at it, and they're like, how do they cast her in that?
Yeah.
And then you're coming across cocky. What is that making you believe? Or what's that making that imposter part believe? Like, you're trying to come across, you're being cocky, but what you're doing is not actually that good, that gap.
It's, do you know what is creeping in?
What?
It's that like nice person thing creeping in again. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why that is like bubbling away, because the word cocky to me relates to not being nice.
Okay. And is it, I am cocky?
Yeah.
How strong is that?
Pretty strong, because my level of confidence is so strong that sometimes there is a fine line, right? And it is that if I am so confident, I'm not a nice person. And when you kind of mix that together, it's giving cocky, right?
Right. Okay. And do you believe you're not a nice person?
Not at the moment, but as the success builds, that is a limiting belief.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not a nice person, or I'm cocky. Which one's strongest?
I think cocky at the moment.
Okay, I'm cocky. How strong is going on to 10?
7.
Okay, ready to let go of it?
Yeah.
Okay, just take... Okay, right, just close your eyes when you're ready and we'll go into it. Okay. Just breathe. Just take some deep breaths. And just relax. Just really focus on your breathing. Even harder now we know that we're on camera. Really just relax. Good. I just want you to notice any areas that feel tight, tense, uneasy, heavy. And just breathe some air into those spaces. Really just relax, just breathe. Just really want you to connect with your inner world. Just open your subconscious mind up. Good. Even deeper. Breathe even deeper. Just slowing the breathing down. Good. And in your mind, I just want you to start repeating the belief, I'm cocky, over and over again. When you think about more success, even more confidence, just keep repeating that belief. And just notice where that feeling sits in your body when that feels true. Just let me know where that feeling sits.
Sitting right here.
Good. Is that heavy or light?
Heavy.
Big or small?
Huge.
What colour is it?
Purple.
What shape is it?
Circle.
Is that moving or still?
Moving.
Good. And what other thoughts do you hear with this belief and this feeling?
I've got, who does she think she is?
Good.
I've got, you get one job and suddenly you think you're like the main character.
Anything else?
You think you're so special.
Good. Really good. And just asking your subconscious, if you were to know, how old are you when you first took on this belief, I'm cocky?
13.
Good. Just going above the timeline, all the way back to that event. Just let me know when you're there.
Yeah, I'm there.
Good. If it feels safe, just let me know what it is that you see looking down.
So it's my first day back at school from when I've just come home from filming my first ever film that I'd done. I was away for about a month doing it. It's my first day back and I'm really excited. You know, I want to tell everybody how it's been. I do feel really confident, as you would. And there's one girl and she comes up to me and says, "Gosh, you've been in one film and now you think you're the bee's knees." I remember it so clearly.
Good, really good. And how did your younger self feel in that moment?
Straight away, I thought I need to stop talking about this. Who do I think I am?
Good, really good. And what limiting decision did you make in that moment that led you to believe that you're cocky? What did you decide?
I decided that I thought I was some kind of celebrity and I'm not. I'm not who I think I am. And all I want to do is show off my success.
Good, really good. And just as the adult of today looking down, what do you now know that your younger self did not get to know at that time?
I can see that this person was just projecting their insecurity onto me because what I was doing was what they wanted to do as well.
Is it?
So I can now really clearly see that all that was jealousy and trying to bring me down so then I would stop being successful, you know, lower my self-esteem so then it wouldn't happen again. Bring me down so that they can go up.
Good, really good. What would have been a much more empowering decision that your younger self could have made instead? What could she have decided in that moment?
I could have decided that it was just jealousy and she wasn't a true friend, and those that were excited to hear about what I had to say. They were proud of my achievements. They motivated me and they were excited for me.
Good. Just watch your younger self make that decision. Now we know what we know and now she knows what she needed to hear. What's different now she makes that decision?
It feels confident, it feels strong. It feels like I'm sure in myself and my decisions. It feels really powerful to cut off a friend as well.
Yeah. What can we positively learn from this event now as the adult of today?
That anything negative people have to say about my achievements is some kind of projection on them. It's a them problem, not me. They've got things that they need to, you know, iron out, think about. It's got nothing to do with me as a person because I know who I am. I know that I'm not cocky.
Good, really good. If you could just go down into the event and just stand next to your younger self and just bring this girl up in front of your mind's eyes, I just want you to pull out a cord between you, your younger self, and this girl. And I just want you to both cut that cord together. Just give all the projections, all the limited beliefs back. Yeah. Just feel that release from your body as well. Thank you, but no thank you. That's your story. And just turn into your younger self. What does she need to hear from you now?
She needs to know that she's done the absolute right thing. That decision that she just made was the right thing to do. Trust your decision as well. Don't overthink it. Don't think, was I too harsh? Was I cruel? No. You made the right decision. And stick with the people that make you feel good.
Good, really good. How does that feel now?
Really, really freeing. Feel like a weight is off my shoulders.
Good, really good. Anything else that we can take from this?
Yeah, like people that don't respect, appreciate, motivate me, lift me up are not worth being in my life.
Good, really good. I just want you to come back above the timeline.
Yeah.
I just want you to turn your mind towards the present and just allow your subconscious to run through all of the events where you previously believed that belief to be true, and just see all those events now in a new light of those new decisions and learnings, but take your time with this.
Back to present now.
Good. What do you want your new story to be moving forward?
That I know myself. I'm the only person that knows exactly who I am, and cocky is definitely not part of my personality. I only want to surround myself with people that make me feel good. And if anyone is saying anything negative or anything that offends me, I don't need them in my life. And it's completely okay to cut people off. I don't have to think that I'm a horrible person for doing that.
Good, really good. How's that feel?
Yeah, really
Ready
good.
to accept it?
Yeah.
Good, you can open your eyes when you're ready. Nice. On camera as well. Unreal.
Yeah. I found that straight away as well.
Yeah, you always do. Quick.
Yeah.
How's it feel? Free?
I feel like as I was when we cut that cord, I honestly felt myself like relaxing again.
Oh, yeah.
I always feel it like in my stomach, and then it moves up, and I feel like when I'm talking about it, I find myself getting really tense and anxious, and then as soon as you cut it off, it's like,
Breathe.
that feels so much better.
Yeah. Because if that girl had never said that to you, you would have never have taken on that belief.
No. And even at the time, you just don't see it. And even when the imposter syndrome was coming in a couple of weeks ago, I was like, why is this happening? And then we do this, and it's like,
yeah,
it makes so much sense.
because it only gets triggered at a certain point.
Yeah.
How old are you? 8 years old?
13 at that moment.
Yeah.
I'd just done my first film.
Because when you're 13, you don't have enough information or emotional intelligence.
You're at high school as well, right? So everyone is
you believe everything you hear.
Everyone just don't say anything and you'll get through school and you'll be fine. And then it was like, I was in like the limelight and I was like,
yeah. And that's that sort of fear of being seen a little bit, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Any advice you would give to our audience before we leave this today? Any mindset tips, advice based on what you've learned?
For me,
Invest into mindset coaching.
Invest into mindset coaching, guys. Do it. No, I think for me, it's trust yourself, be yourself. I know that's so much easier said than done. It's hard to do that.
It's powerful.
But yeah, it is so powerful, right? Like, I am my highest self I have ever been. And I'm also not just saying that. I'm not like looking into the camera. I am not just saying that. You know, I feel like sometimes it's like, guys, you should do mindset, but you should. Like, if you just tried one session, I promise it would change your life. It has changed mine. Like, look at what I'm doing now, right? Trust yourself, be yourself. And if anyone has anything to say, well, that's on them, not you. If you're going to come at me and say you're not funny, okay, do I care? No, I didn't tell you this. I was saving this for the podcast. I've just done quite a well-known commercial, which obviously you know, and it's on TikTok and everything. And I had a comment on there that wasn't particularly nice, and they'd attacked how I look, which for me used to really, really bother me, especially my teeth. It used to always be a problem for me. And ever since I was 12, I was like, I'm going to get my teeth sorted as soon as I can. And then after we'd worked on loads of other things as well, I feel so confident in how I look. I dress how I want. I'll do my hair how I want. I'll do my makeup, whatever. I'll wear a ring on every finger because I like to do that. Someone had said something about my teeth, which for years has been my biggest insecurity. I read it and I was like, this person, like, they're called like user 1234 and they're coming at me like, you're not doing like TV adverts and films, so I don't care.
All the best.
That's on you. Yeah. All the best.
Thanks.
But
and good night.
yeah, I don't need that.
Yeah.
You know?
Unreal. Amazing. I think it's going to be highly valuable to many people,
Yeah.
but thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And
Thanks.
I'll see you in Hollywood.
See you in Hollywood, baby.